So over the past 2 decades, Ghana and other African countries have made major economic and social strides that ultimately equips them to significantly participate in global affairs. And one factor brightening the prospects for Ghana is by her continuous bilateral ties with other countries around the world. And these bilateral relations have assisted during economic crisis, aiding in regional conflict resolution mechanisms in Africa as a whole, and the creation of opportunities for our youth. Ghana and Germany have established deep cordial relationships for the past 60 years and still moving forward stronger together. His Excellency Ambassador Mr. Daniel Krull, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Ghana, joins me on the Youth Times special edition today to shed light on the rich and solid 60-year cooperation between Ghana and Germany and its future. We will also touch on achieving SDGs, higher educational opportunities for Ghanaian youth, and sustainable economic development policies in achieving Ghana beyond aid and its others. My name is Vanessa Zeke Ade Ado, and this is the Youth Times special edition on Grace Live TV. Don't go anywhere, the show commences very shortly. You're welcome, Your Excellency, to the Youth Times special edition on Grace Live TV.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be on your show today.
It is indeed a great honor to sit with you. And would you tell us a little bit about yourself and everything you would like the youth to know?
Well, I'm what we call in the diplomatic world a career diplomat. So I was born in Hamburg in northern Germany, an important port town in Europe, home to many Ghanaians in Germany. I started studying in Hamburg, continued in Berlin. I studied economics and political science. I had the privilege to gain scholarships to Montreal in Canada and to study in Paris at Sciences Po Politique. And after I graduated, I first started working in the academia, and then at one point applied for the Foreign Service, and this is where I stayed ever since.
Right. Thank you so much. So having joined the German Foreign Service in '92 after your education and all, having also worked in Iceland, Venezuela, just to mention a few, and now Ghana, what have been the highlights of your stay here in Ghana since you arrived?
Well, there have been many highlights in beautiful Ghana, but I think the most precious highlight for the time being was a night in Aburi.
The Eastern region?
Yes, no, well, just outside of
that's the Eastern
Accra.
region, Aburi.
And so it was on a Saturday afternoon that I was driving out to the Aburi Hills, and I was invited to join research fellows who spent time in Germany and had an alumni meeting. And so I was stuck in traffic for 2.5 or 3 hours, and I was wondering why I was wasting my precious weekend in the streets of Ghana, and I was a little bit depressed. And then I came there and met young, ambitious people who had a great meeting on startups, and they were exchanging their experiences and their ambitions. And it was really, really good dynamic. And then we had a little discussion about bilateral relations between Ghana and Germany. It was very, very, very open talk. And then after at the end, they asked me if I want to join them for dinner. And so I accepted this kind invitation, and we had a great dinner in the garden overlooking nightly Accra. It felt a little bit like being in Hollywood and looking over Los Angeles. It was a really great setting. And then when they started sharing their experience they had in Germany, it was really lively discussion. And then came the highlight. Then the dinner was over, and somebody started to be the DJ, and we were dancing into the night, and for a very long time. So that was really, I thought, wow, I really arrived in Ghana, and I like to be here very much.
Right. Thank you for your wonderful stay. And touching on, going back a little, touching on the bilateral relations. So this year marked the 60-year cooperation between Ghana and Germany. How has the journey been so far for the past 60 solid years in this rich relationship that we have with Germany? How has it been, and where do we see it in future?
Do you really want me to start a review of the last 60 years? I think I
Probably
focus
can just
more
do
on
it
the
in a nutshell.
last 6 years, maybe.
In a nutshell, how has the journey been?
Well, it has been a very fruitful cooperation, very continuously. And of course, you always, like in a personal relationship, you have better times than others. And so it has been also very dynamic. Now, in recent years, Germany decided to focus development cooperation with African countries more on reform-oriented countries, which we believe have a chance to really make it and take their development to the next level. And Ghana was one of the important premium partners, we call them, for development cooperation. And this is when the portfolio of cooperation project really became more and more complex.
Right. So what have been the newest developments in this field between our cooperation between two countries? Because it has really been solidified recently. So what new projects have been in this field that has really aided in the solidification of our bilateral ties?
Yeah. I mean, we view Ghana as a middle-income country, so we believe that the basic services can be and should be provided by the government without Germany needing to support. So we are focusing in particular on 3G. 3G means on growth, on green energy, and on good governance.
Right.
These are the three main pillars of our cooperation. So it's about trying to support companies from Germany, from Europe, Ghanaian companies, to grow and in particular, to supporting their efforts in training young people and vocational training. So to upgrade their business. That is the 1G, it's growth. The second G is green energy. And this is, on the one side, about increasing renewable energy generation in Ghana, which is difficult because of the moratorium that was decided upon new energy power plants. So this is making this field very difficult. And the other side is energy efficiency and saving energy. I learned that in Ghana, the industry could save up to 25% of energy without investing a dime, only by changing behavior.
Okay.
So let's take a very simple example that you put on the aircon only when the door is closed. So, or if you don't put the aircon on 18 degrees, but you put it on 22. So only by these measures, which do not cost you a dime, the industry would be able to reduce the need of energy by 25%. So this is something we like to look into it. And the 3G is then good governance. This is in particular on tax collection and on revenue collection, and also on measures to fight corruption and to support the special prosecutor.
Great. That is great. So thank you for the 3Gs. So touching on the very first one of them, we would like to know some of the sustainable economic development policies in achieving Ghana Beyond Aid, because we know that you have worked at the Department for European and Economic Affairs, and also as a speechwriter for the German Mr. Gunther.
Long time ago.
Yeah, a very long time ago. So coming here now, we are focusing on policies that are going to aid Ghana Beyond Aid. Are there any from the German government to Ghana, and what are they?
Well, I think which is of particular interest to you, the viewers of your show, is that we are very, very engaged in supporting the build-up of vocational training in Ghana. We believe that is key for Ghana's success in the African Continental Free Trade Area. We strongly believe that this is a very important framework, and Ghana has fantastic chances to profit from this larger African market. But this will only be the case if Ghana invests in education and in training, because you need to be better than your competitors, and we all know that this economic world is based on competence and knowledge, and so you need well-trained people working, and so we are supporting Ghana in reforming the TVET. We provided some 50 million in the last 5 years, in particular for training vouchers. So young people get a voucher with which they can pay for a training course. And we are continuing this effort, and we will continue to support also the new colleges that are more focused on applied science.
Right. So as you are supporting the youth in that way, one way also is by extending foreign businesses to Ghana and also Ghanaian businesses to the foreign scene. What is the current state of the bilateral trade relations between Germany and Ghana? And where do we see it in future?
Ghana is the second most important economy in Africa for German industry, so it's a very important partner.
Great.
I'm very pleased to note that despite all the trouble that COVID caused on Ghana, on Germany, on the world economy, that trade figures are relatively stable. So there was a little decrease, but not very much, so it's quite stable. This is probably also because there are long-term relationships that are behind these trades. So there's a lot of cocoa trading going on and others. Now, I think most importantly is how German industry looks at Ghana, and I mentioned already the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Yeah, the FTA.
So if you talk to the German automotive industry, they of course are interested in the African market, but a home market of 30 million like Ghana is just too small to think about setting up a real automotive factory. So the creation of a bigger market is key for Ghana to become a regional hub, industrial hub. And I see fair chances if they really manage to get this trade area up and running, then I'm pretty sure that more companies from Germany will be interested to invest here in Ghana. Maybe on a step-by-step process. If you look at automotive industry, it probably is in the first phase will be on suppliers that might look into setting up plants in Ghana, which then will build up and serve the entire African market.
Right. So we have a new German government, and we would like to also find out their prospects for Ghana, if there are any.
Yes, the new government came into power beginning of December. So for the last 16 years, Angela Merkel was at the head of the government, and as you may and your viewers may know, that Angela Merkel was very, very active in fostering the relations with Africa. She was behind the compact with Africa, the commitment of the G20 countries to invest more and to make more private investment happening in countries like Ghana. So Ghana, in a way, lost a very, very good friend in the beginning of December. However, the new government is a mixture of, it's a promise of continuity and change. With the Chancellor Olaf Scholz, we have a figure that certainly stands for continuity and being a pragmatic problem solver, in the tradition of Angela Merkel. And with the Greens and the Liberals, we certainly have two parties who are pushing strongly for change, in particular in the interest of the German youth, because they believe that if you do not take measures now against climate change, then the children and their children will pay the price. So I think we can expect even more activities in the fight against climate change. So the second G, the green energy, certainly will become even stronger. I'm personally quite sure that we will have a very intensive dialogue of possibilities that Ghana becomes a generator of hydrogen energy, which then could be exported to Germany. Ghana has huge potentials, solar energy, wind energy, which are currently not touched at all. And there are ideas to use this energy to produce hydrogen in Africa and export it to Germany. To just give you an example, the new government has the ambition to be climate neutral very, very quickly. And this could only take place if German industry changes from oil and gas to other renewable energy sources. And to give you an idea, the important chemical industry in Germany would need the amount of electricity that is currently used in the entire country. So only this sector of industry would need the amount of electricity from the entire country, which gives you an idea on how much new renewable energy is needed. And this can certainly not only produced in Germany. So we are badly looking for sources to sourcing this kind of energy worldwide.
Yeah, that would be a very good bilateral trade relation deal between Germany and Ghana. Hello, viewers. On this note, we'd like to take a very fast commercial break. The show commences very shortly after this. Don't go anywhere. Right, so welcome back from that quick one. I have been here with His Excellency Ambassador Mr. Daniel Krull. He is the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Ghana. We have been here delving very deeper into the bilateral ties that has existed between Germany and Ghana for the past 60 years and moving forward solidly and stronger together. I forgot to mention, he worked as a speechwriter for the German Foreign Minister for Economic Affairs, Mr. Gunther Rexroth. That is correct, right. So it means we are in a very good place. He will give us a very good speech before we leave. So one thing that I would like to talk about, Your Excellency, is we can see some similarities between the Ghanaian culture and the German culture. What are some of the similar things you've seen so far upon your arrival and some of the differences you have noticed?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think I would focus firstly on a remarkable difference, because I really appreciated very much when I came here to Ghana to come to a country that people are incredibly on the positive side. So they really, even if they are having serious problems, they will still focus on the positive and. At least not to me, will not mention any of the dark sides of the life. Now, this is in Germany. It's quite different. It's changing, but for example, my parents are still brought up in the belief that if you do not criticize someone, this is enough of appreciation. You know? So the idea that you should constantly appreciate. Achievements of other people wasn't in their concept, and so this is how I was brought up.
Wow!
And so Germans are known to be very critical about others, but also about themselves. Okay. And this is, of course, makes life sometimes very difficult in Germany. In particular, I know that from my talks with Ghanaian students who spend time in Germany, that is in the beginning the hardest part of being in Germany. Now, of course, there's also a good side on that, because if you're always very critical also about yourself, you're always trying to improve. And this is actually, I think, the cultural element that is behind the success of German industry and the German economy. It's because these people are constantly criticizing and looking for improvement. Now, and I'm not sure whether this applies in the same way to Ghana. I think sometimes I wonder that people are settling for so little, and I would hope that there will be a little bit more, insistency and pushing for better results.
Great. Wow, that's great. So one thing that I may want to ask, I want us to really discuss is about the Green Deal, about the 3Gs that you spoke about initially. So one thing that is affecting us as a country is the depletion of our natural resources, our forest areas, our water bodies and all. Would you talk about ways of safeguarding our environment with our improved ways of production? Because productivity is increasing, and production, there's the production of cars, of this and that, and sometimes they have negative effects on the environment. So as the Green Deal is a very huge, vital concept to you, how do we move on with improved ways of production, thereby still safeguarding our environment?
So on protecting natural resources, there's of course the effect of illegal mining. That is certainly an issue that is of great concerns to the people I speak to in the Ghanaian government. There is the problem that you need to harmonize the interest of the cocoa farmers with the forestation. But I think there are ways to moderate these kinds of conflicting interests. And given the capacity of Ghanaians to respect each other and to search for consensus, I'm actually quite hopeful that there will be solutions found in Ghana here.
Right. We also hope there'll be solutions found in the latter part. So coming back again to Africa collectively as African countries, one issue we are facing over here is corruption, issues of chaos, and all the likes of things that result in coercion. You visited Mr. Kisi Jabin recently, the special prosecutor. How is Germany helping us as a country in arriving at a corrupt-free country, which is maybe very impossible to achieve 100%, but to obliterate it or wipe it out to a large extent?
Yeah, I think that's a very sensitive issue. I'm pleased to see that Ghana put in place important laws and important institutions. Now I think it's up to the people who are in power and who are like the special prosecutor to take action and make best use of the laws and the institutions in place. So this will strongly depend on the character of the people who are running these institutions. And we stand on the sideline to whenever there is a need of getting competence at the table, trying to share best practice from other countries, then we are happy to assist. To give you two examples, we have supported through the UNODC institution in Vienna two very interesting seminars. The one was on mitigating the risk of corruption in the health sector, and it was on the request of the Ghana Health Service. I like this kind of approach, that you start from bottom up, and people working in the institution have the desire to take the necessary measures to mitigate the risk of corruption in their service. So, and this is the dynamic you need to really change the system.
Of course, of course.
I think we will fail. Ghana will fail if we always try it from the outside. This is not the way forward.
Right.
It needs this the energy of the people, of the Ghanaian people working in the institution, to really want to change their services. And there are many in this country who want to change and want to see change coming. The other seminar was about the legislation for whistleblowers. Ghana has been among the first countries in the world who came up with the legislation protecting the whistleblower. But this was many years ago, so now time has went on, and so there are new aspects and new elements, and there apparently the High Commissioner for Human Rights and Administrative Justice felt the need to look into that and maybe come up with some proposals for to refurbish this law.
Right.
So this is a desire, a request from the people inside who want change, and then we are happy to support.
Great. Change is very good, So we will all support it to the highest core. And one huge change the whole world is facing, which will really help African countries, is achieving SDGs. I don't know where the achievement of SDGs fall in the G3, but we would like to fall on the very fourth one, which talks about education, which is very important to the youth, our viewers as well. We'd like to know if there are higher education opportunities for Ghanaian youth. We know of the DAAD. We want to know its accessibility and how that is also going to form as a means of development assistive policies in aiding Ghanaian youth.
So SDG on education is in the 3G and in the field of vocational training and these kind of activities, which are very close to the German heart, because Germany was not as lucky as Ghana. Germany doesn't have lush gold resources. Germany doesn't have oil and gas. Germany doesn't have bauxite. So our forefathers had to come up with smart solutions and use technology and go step by step and achieve knowledge-based growth. So we strongly believe that our addiction to vocational training was part of making this success possible. So this is one part. On the other hand, we have a very, very solid, very important academic cooperation between many universities in Germany and some very outstanding universities in Ghana, particularly of course, with the universities in Accra and in Kumasi. Now, this is the biggest surprise to come here and learn that, for example, the top epidemiologists from Germany are since 20 years working with Ghanaian institutions, in a very good cooperation. Many Ghanaians had the chance to come to Germany to study, and they went back to Kumasi and now are running these important institutes that also receive funds from Germany for the European Union and other countries. I just happened to meet one professor who started this more than 22 years ago, and he was the one who brought the current head of KCCR and Kumasi to Germany, and he made his PhD, and after he finished his PhD, he got an offer to go to New York and continue his studies. And the German professor was the one who advised him to also consider the idea of going back to Kumasi, because his argument was that if he goes back to Kumasi, then he might have a chance to become the head of an important institution, and then later on travel the world as head of this institution.
Great.
And this is how at the end he decided in favor of going back to Kumasi, and now is a well-reputed researcher worldwide, and is flying back and forth to New York whenever he wants.
That's great.
So you ask about the DAAD, which is the window, the window to the young, ambitious researchers in Ghana. We are offering scholarships for studies in Germany. It is, however, important to note that unlike in the US, you do not pay for your university studies in Germany. So this is already takes off a lot of burden from the shoulders of the students.
Right.
So it's only about financing the living costs in Germany. So this is a certain different, totally different equation than thinking about paying $25,000 for a semester studying in the US. There is sometimes in some countries the perception that because you do not have to pay for the university, then the value is less than going to the United States or countries where you have to pay for studying. But knowing a little bit about the history and the quality of public universities in Germany will tell you better. And,
Right.
So
That's
you
true.
get a very interesting opportunity, in particular in the field of technical expertise. So this is also why there are very many students coming from Kumasi universities in architecture, urban planning, in mechanical engineering, construction engineering. So a broad spectrum of careers are offered at German universities.
Wow, thank you so much for coming on the show. So this is why I test my German. Everybody wants to hear me speak German. So let's say Heslich, I will get back to that. So let me say Danke schön for now. So before we take leave on the show, there are people watching you who would like to sit in your stead. There are aspiring leaders, youth comprising the ages of 18 to 40 and even over, who are interested in diplomacy, people who are interested in aspiring to become leaders. What advice would you give to all the youth watching you? This is your camera.
So my advice to young people, young leaders in Ghana is stay ambitious. Don't settle for too little too early. And be aware that you need patience. You need you have to build a career step by step. I know from talking to my son, he is 25 years old, this concept of being patient and having to wait a little bit and maybe making one intermediate step is not very popular. But despite all internet changes and so on, I think it is still a very valid advice. So be consistent, be ambitious, but also be patient and build up your career step by step, and then you will be successful. And I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you. So, herzlich willkommen zum heutigen Programm.
Fantastic, Zig. I didn't know you're a fluent German speaker.
I'm very good. I decided to hide it for the very latter part. Thank you for coming, as we hope to come one other time before you take leave of us finally to catch up on issues.
Thank you very much, Zig.
Danke
It was a
schön.
great pleasure being on your program, and all the best to you, and may God bless beautiful Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So as youth poised and groom hard working to take on the next generation as future leaders, this is the show that brings to you every information you need for elevation. Thank you for joining us. I've been here at the residence of the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Ghana, is His Excellency Ambassador Mr. Daniel Krull. The show comes your way another time. Until then, keep safe. Bye.